How we doing today? Well, I think that as an organization, a team, coaches and players included, we're all excited about the opportunity that we have for the upcoming season. Obviously, players do a lot of work, whether it's off-season program, spring practice, summer conditioning, with this idea in mind. And every player makes a decision relative to the level of commitment that they have to a standard of excellence in terms of the discipline, toughness, preparation, commitment to work, to do the things they need to do to improve, so they can create the kind of identity for themselves that they'd like to create, and they can also contribute to the identity of the team. And at the end of the day, it's all about, how did you score? Just like golf, big golf tournament yesterday. How did you score? That's what it's all about. But in football, the thing that's different is, A, how did I play, which is really how did you score, and then B, how does the guy playing beside you play? Because it's hard to have success if everybody doesn't do their job correctly, and that's something that we have to prove as a team. And I can sit and speculate 100 different ways on where our team is, but you never know where your team is in all these areas until you actually go out and play. And we have an opportunity to play a team that at Duke had a very successful season last year with 8 wins. David Cutcliffe, in my opinion, is one of the best coaches in the country. Having competed against him for years when he was at Ole Miss, and also since we've been here, we played against him at Duke. They have a much, much better team. They've got 15 returning starters this year, 8 on defense, 4 on offense. Their offense is very efficient and effective, and obviously they had a great quarterback last year, but the quarterback they have this year actually started in 2 games and played extremely well last year. So there's lots of challenges that they present as a team. That's certainly why we're practicing and what we're working to try to get our players to be able to adjust and adapt to, and go out and play fast and effectively in terms of what we want to execute and what we want to do. So that doesn't matter whether it's special teams, offense, defense, whatever part of the game that is out there, that's how we want to play. And this is an opportunity for us to establish an identity as a team. We always, kind of take pride in our teams playing with class here, and that starts with the kind of discipline that you play with, and that's something that we want to certainly continue to always establish with our players so that they represent themselves, the program, the university in a first-class way.
Just how much has Will Reichert impressed you as a true freshman, both at kicker and punter?
He's done a nice job. He's been very consistent in his performance in both areas. I think the competition that we have in both punting and kicking has probably helped everybody get better, and it's good to have the situation that I think we have right now, and it'll be interesting to see how he responds in the game when he gets an opportunity.
Back on the left side with Michael, there's several spots in the offensive line that have a slash on for starters. Is that something that's going to be determined this week? Is it still open competition with all of them?
Well, if we have a slash there, that means that we feel both guys are very much in competition for the position, and both guys have an opportunity to play at that position, and we will make a determination at some point in time as to who actually starts the game. But that's not something that we're comfortable saying right now.
Go ahead, Bill, with James.
Coach Cutcliffe has a long history of getting guys in the NFL and kind of improving teams' offenses once he gets there. What is it about him that is so successful at developing quarterbacks?
Well, I've always thought that he's one of the best quarterback coaches in the country, and obviously his track record has proven that. I think he has that reputation, so I think a lot of players are interested in playing for him, and he's done a fabulous job of developing those players. So, but I also think that their system and scheme on offense is so well conceived, and that it also gives the players an opportunity at all positions on offense to have a chance to be successful. But it makes the quarterback's efficiency always have the consistency that everyone always looks for in a quarterback, because the system allows them to make quick decisions and get the ball out of their hands, and it's very sound, and they're very well coached in being able to do that. And I think all those things contribute to the success of the quarterback as well as their offense.
Coach Becker, Cecil.
Coach, could you update us on the injuries going into the first game, other than the long-term guys? I know Justin Aboybe missed a couple of practices.
Yeah, Justin has a foot injury that is not a long-term injury. He's kind of day-to-day. I would say he's probably questionable for this particular game. So we just have to wait and see how he responds and how he goes from there. But we expect everybody. Hunter Brandon is still not able to participate. Deontay Brown, who is suspended for 4 games, will be able to participate probably in the next couple days. I don't think there's anybody else. I mean, you guys know the guys that are out other than that. So everybody else we expect to be able to practice and see how they respond and develop through the course of the week if they are coming off injuries.
Over on the left, Brian.
Obviously, Christian Harris is listed as the starter. What impressed you about him to be able to be elevated to that position already?
Well, he's a very aggressive player, and sometimes you have to make decisions with young players, even though they may not have a total understanding of doing everything exactly like you'd like for them to do it. Their ability to make plays and their sort of want to, in terms of learning how to do it and developing, is going to allow them to make the improvement that they need to make to be the most consistent player. And we just felt like after 2 scrimmages, the way he played, that he was the guy that would give us the best chance long term to develop at that position. We still like some other guys. There is still competition at the position, and we'll continue to evaluate that.
A couple more here. We'll start with John.
What are some of the benefits to playing, A, these neutral site games, but B, you're having your players know that they've got to open up with the Power 5 team?
Well, I think that, first of all, one of the things that we're going to play an SEC game on the road early in the season, and I think that at least for a lot of young players, this is an opportunity, even though it isn't necessarily a road game, it prepares them to be able to play on the road because you're going to travel, you got to focus, you're in a different place, playing in a new stadium. So all the external factors that can sort of affect your ability to focus on what you need to be doing, this is an experience to do that. So I always thought that was, very beneficial. I think it's great from a program exposure standpoint. We've had a lot of games in Atlanta. We've had some in Dallas. We've had some other, games in other places that has given the program a lot of exposure, which I think is really important. I think when you play a good opponent early on, the whole focus in the off season, spring practice, fall camp is always a little better because the players feel they're going to be challenged in the first game, and that's something that I think helps their competitive spirit throughout their preparation time.
Coach, we're up next. Tony.
What have you seen from some of the younger defensive backs, the freshmen that came in this year?
We think all those guys have the potential to be really good players. I think Jordan Battle has sort of played really well and is probably going to have a chance to, play on some special teams. DeMarco Helms is a guy that I think is going to contribute to the depth at safety as well. The couple of the young guys that are fighting for, backup cornerback role positions. There's still a lot of competition there. I don't think anybody's really ever sort of stood out, even though we like their ability. we're just going to keep working with them and hope that, they can mature and develop into guys that you can depend on at that position. So we're I guess to sum it up, we're not disappointed in anyone. We're encouraged by the ability that all these players have. We're not totally satisfied with how they can, and we expect them to develop in the future so that they can contribute to the depth of our team. And we do think that some of those guys can contribute on special teams.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.